So, new update. Car is on its wheels. So I just want to show you that. So I'm going to film this update in a few sessions. But I think it looks pretty cool. It's a little bit low. Some people really like low. But yeah, these are just the original steel wheels, 15-inch wheels. But the height of the wheel is the same as my 18-inch wheels will be. Outside of the height of the wheel. So it drops about 1.5 centimeter, maybe 2, a little bit more, because that was the play I had before I dropped it. So my shock absorber settings are halfway, so it's on setting 15 from 32, so it's halfway the setting. I can press it now about another centimeter in, so it's pretty stiff. But yeah, I just want to have a good reaction to the road, so that's the plan. I can also I can also change in the future a little bit softer spring, but I'm first going to try this because I have to put another 30 kilos of weight on the nose, I think, with water, and the interior and the transmission fluid is not in, so the actual weight on the front will be a little bit more than it now is. The bumpers are not on, the headlights are not in, so it will add up some weight, and then I'm first going to drive with this setting and we will see. So if you can see, it's about, yeah, it's just inside the wheel. Outside, when I turn the steering wheel, it's not hitting it, but I think it's just for practical reasons. I think it should go up another centimeter or 1.5 centimeters. So I think I'm going to do that. In the rear, it's pretty good. I'm not going to do anything to this now because when I got people in the car, it's also dropped. So I'm first going to leave it like this. So it looks pretty good. So also, what is a good thing is that it's also tricky because I modified the suspension in front, of course. Now all the pressure is on here. It's always good to see that you don't have any cracks or anything else in here. So all the weight is brought back to the subframe, to the chassis beams. So that works pretty good. So what is the next? What I'm going to do? I'm going to remove the front arches. So because I cannot now roll the car to the front, I could not open the door wide enough when it was on the bridge, so I need to put it on the wheels. Because there are 3 or 4 bolts in here, so I can now loosen them up and get the wheel arches off. Have a look how big the damage is, or the rust damage, and repair that. When that is repaired, I will get the engine out for the last modifications I need to do for the steering. I have to give the steering axle a little bit more play, so I have to get some little bit grinding off a little bit inside there, and I have to do a modification to get the exhaust on this side, on the side of the steering. I also have to do some modification, but you see that later in the video. I will show that. So this is part 1 of the video. I will do more shots in one video. I think that's just nice to see for your people, that you see more work done in one video, not only one update. So I also bought another transmission. This is this is 722 621. So this transmission is only delivered as a 5-speed from end of 1995 till 1998 in the S600 W140. And after that it was, and also from the S600 from 95 till 2001. So with other transmissions, like I said, that's maybe easier. This from here till the end is just a anough 580. So it will fit a lot of cars. Like AMGs have almost the same internals. So it's most clutch plates and that sort of stuff. But this is the most important thing, the front. The bell housing. You can change it, the bell housing, and you can put it on every 722/6 transmission. You can just change them out. But this bell housing will only fit an M120 V12. So that's what's pretty special on this transmission. And I found this transmission online, and I got a good deal on it, so I think I bought it, because now I've got 2 transmissions. It's always good to have the bell housing for spare, because these bell housings are just pretty expensive to buy them new from Mercedes, and you can just bolt them on, there's no problem. But yeah, I think have this spare is pretty good. So now I have 2 transmissions, And if I want to change in the future, maybe have an R600 with a 4-speed, I always can swap it to a 5-speed. So that's the idea behind it. So yeah. So in the next, you will see now that the wheel arches are off. So I've got the wheel arches off, both sides. It's not that bad, I think. As you can see here, I've got a hole that's into the chassis beam. And the other side, it's a little bit higher in here. That's going inside, it's where the pedals are. So I have to, I'm going to derust this, everything. It's all pretty solid, only this piece here. Weld a new piece in. I got some of the bolts are rotten out here, so I'm going to derust that. For the rest it looks pretty clean. So that's pretty good. So on the wheel arch is also pretty good shape, only on this side, so the passenger side, the connection is rotten out, so I'm going to weld in a new piece so it can be bolted back in again. And for the rest it's in pretty good shape, as you can see. It's not that bad. So just has to be derusted. This piece needs to be on the front frame. It's also the welds are broken off or something. So that piece is normally in here. So that's the next thing. So go to repair the holes, get a coating inside, and then the wheel arches can go back. So that's the next thing. So all the holes are repaired, all the damage. Well, a new piece in here. This has been repaired. It was all rotten through. So that's a connection for the wheel arch underneath. Also there was a hole in here. This is all broken off. So welded a new piece in here from the inside out, so I can get the inside wheel arches nice and tidy. I also looked to get a new inner wheel arch, but Mercedes does not sell it anymore, so I cannot buy it. So I needed to repair it. So also used on the inside the NOXYDE coating that I also use on the bottom. So if people are interested, I can share a link underneath the video. I think it's an interesting coating. It's getting like a rubbery, it's like an, yeah, it's still flexible, this stuff. It's very nice, and it's water and airtight, so that's pretty good. So you can also get it in different colors. So I think for a complete underbody of a car you need about 5 kilos. That's I paid for a new can 88 euros. So I think that's pretty cheap for a compound that's this good. So I'm pretty pleased with it. So this side is done. The other side I need to get the wiring out first. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. Get the wiring out, and I also ordered new hydraulic lines, and other lines also for the oil cooler. I want to get the line off, and I broke the complete plug out of it. It was completely damaged, the thread. So I also needed to order a new oil cooler. And these coolers are pretty expensive for Mercedes, more expensive than I thought. I thought Mercedes asking almost 400 euros for this particular cooler. And it's a bare cooler. And I found a bare cooler. I didn't bought it by Mercedes, I just bought it from online. And I paid just under 60 euros or 70 euros for it. So I think that's a pretty fair price if the original one is 400 euros. So I do like to buy original parts, but for this it's a cooler that's made by Bear. So yeah, I'm not going to pay the 400 euros when I can buy it for 160. We also repaired a piece in the wheel arch. New piece of metal in it was also rotten through. I have to put the primer coating on it and get all the other rust bits off. And then it can be put in coating also something here, a little bit. So put it in primer so it cannot rust any further. Also overhauled the brakes. It's now completely done. I put all new seals in it and new blocks are in it. I made a separate video for overhauling the calipers. I think maybe for some people it's easy to know how the caliper works. So that video will be online in 2 weeks or something. So that's it for this week, or for this few weeks, not just a week, but it's a lot of work. It's more work than I thought it would be. And it remembers me why I should buy a car that does not have any rust holes in it to do a build. So next time I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to have a look if it's really solid, because this car looks very solid, but yet underneath you still find some pieces of rust, and it just takes a lot of time. So if you want to do a project, you could better buy a car for €1,000 more that's completely solid. Then you have all small holes and that sort of stuff. So it's just a lot of work to get it nice and tidy, and not just that it looks nice from the outside. I always want to have it look pretty solid. So next thing, I'm waiting for the hydraulic lines, for transmission cooling and engine cooling and the steering, hydraulic steering pump. If I have those lines, I can fit them underneath. If that fits, the engine can go out again and the wiring loom. I can fix the other side, the rust pieces, and get all the rust away. And then I can make it ready for a primer, the engine bay. And then have to do some modifications to get the exhaust on the driver's side, to get it sorted out where I have to route it around the steering pump. Then I have to make the exhaust, and then it's only wiring. So it's pretty good, I think. So that's it. I hope you liked the video. If this is your first video of the project, have a look in the playlist. I think there's a link below or on the side. End of the video, there's going to be a link to the complete playlist. So I hope you like this project. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and see you for the next update. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.